Are you eating something? What's going on with you?
What?
What are you doing?
No, just eating some...
What is that? Is that natural balance?
Are those dog treats?
No. Do you have any more?
Do I have any more dog biscuits?
Do you have any more of these?
You know it's a dog biscuit, right?
Yeah, like a Scooby snack. I've got Scooby snacks and stuff from, you know, like Gelson's and stuff. You know, it's not really for dogs.
I mean,
it's
there's
just like the marketing and
sweet potato and venison. It says right on the. I don't know if those are.
It's like deer. I've had deer at Fuddruckers.
Yo, is your hair covering the mic?
Fuddruckers.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, am I louder now?
It feels better now. I don't know why.
Wow.
Does it feel good?
So, welcome back to Wrenfield Radio.
I mean, Herz.
I'm Revel Rosa. Today we have my brother, Revel Rosa.
It's me.
How was the drive out?
It was weird. You know, you told me about this place, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm always down to support, you know, my bro, you know, I love you. But, like, at the same time, it was really hard getting here.
Really?
And after the first 5 miles, I, like, lost reception. So I just kind of, like, had to find my way here. It was really weird.
You're, like, the only person that has experienced that, though. Right?
Yeah, no one else has said that.
Because you just Google it and it's there.
Yeah, but I lost service like 5 miles into the trip, you know?
Oh, God.
Do you have, what's your cell phone plan?
My cell phone, it's T-Mobile, but usually...
Well,
don't give me that. T-Mobile's like... cool. I thought it would work because T-Mobile's like great with having service where there is no civilization. So I assumed that it was going to be fine, but like, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, did you ask, you know, like another traveler or someone that you met for directions?
I didn't see anybody.
Oh.
There's nobody in the road. It was, I like...
That's weird.
There's nobody even outside. I like parked the car. There's like no one outside, but there's like sitting noises. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand this place.
Did you not like explore the town? Like, did you go get some food before you came, or did you just come straight to the studio?
I kind of just came straight here, which is why I was chowing down on some snacks you guys have around here. It was
dog biscuits.
Yeah. Nomenclature.
My brother was eating dog biscuits like a psycho. Anyway, but yeah, seriously,
Yeah, they look tasty.
Do you know?
Oh my god, these are for dogs.
What's your opinion on the moose population in Wrenfield? Did you see a lot of moose?
There are a lot of moose
shit ton.
outside.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moose out. Okay, yeah. So like, there's a lot of moose outside.
I feel like you could talk about like is it weird that mooses are here? Because where's the biggest population of moose?
So like, you know, they're found more up north, like around like Canada, and you know, just more of like, you know, lower of the Arctic Circle. So I was really surprised how many moose are here, just out in the open, and they're big. They're really big here. Like, you know, there's that one video of a big moose going down the interstate, I'm assuming in Canada. That's like, you know, people are like, oh, that's like an exceptionally large moose or something, but there's like a lot of really big moose.
I saw that video. That dude takes up the whole road. You can't like right and left lane.
Yeah.
They're massive.
And people are just like stopping and taking photos. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am an animal enthusiast. I love nature in all regards. Doesn't mean that I want to touch or get near anything that could potentially just like, you know, yeet me over a riverbank. Like,
dude, that's like,
oh my god, yeah, there
that's
it
like
is.
Spirit animal shit. Like that's like the spirit. What was it in Avatar? The giant.
Yeah, like the spirits.
Which
like
one? There's the Heibai spirit, which is look at that thing, dude.
Oh,
so like just getting a sense of the scope. There's a large car, and then there's the moose.
I mean, that is like a demon.
Okay, yeah. So when I was pulling into you guys' parking lot, there was like 5 of those, just kind of like loitering.
Shit.
It was
Dude,
really weird.
they gotta fucking talk about it. Because, you know, Renfield definitely has a problem with that.
Well, you know, the sheriff said they'll give you $800 every moose you bring in.
That's it? I feel like...
Well,
because
a little low.
It's like monster hunting. That
isn't
thing
it
is
kind of
huge.
like?
Right.
Isn't it kind of like? Because you know, obviously we know, but you know, in Puerto Rico, it's totally like cool to shoot iguanas and eat them.
Well, yeah, they're invasive.
Yeah.
They're a pest, and I have been trying to eat one for a while, but I'm sure they taste fantastic. You know, it's a delicacy in El Salvador, and I'm always vibing to try new foods.
How bad could I mean? I've never had like snake before or anything. I want to try
Supposedly
that. Though.
that's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
How about dog? I'm kidding.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, but don't they eat dog in some places?
Yeah, they eat dog in a lot of different countries, and the problem
That's
is
a little
here,
dark, though.
I mean, it's dark, but the thing is, I guess we don't keep pigs as pets primarily. So even though they're as emotionally receptive to humans as dogs, since they are also, the domestic pig is a thing, and people who do keep pigs, with the proper facilities, say that even though they get real big, they act like dogs do. They even wag their tails when they're happy. It's just, like Air Bud wasn't a pig, so naturally people are gonna be like, "How could you eat a dog?" But to most people, to most vegans, where it's like, "Oh, it's nothing." It's like, why would you eat a pig?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
And in India, dude, they like worship cows. It's like if you eat a cow in a certain religion in India, you're donezo.
Yeah, like you're not even like if a cow's chilling in the road, you're not even allowed to whack it. I think you gotta let that thing be. I think some people yell at them and then they move, but that's yelling. You could yell at an
it's
animal
fine.
and it'll move.
Doesn't speak English.
No.
Yeah.
But would you would you eat a dog if you were in a situation where you were exploring a new country and you were with I don't know, you were with some friends and you were seeing a specific culture, and there was you were at a restaurant and they were it's oh yeah, I know the chef, he's gonna prepare us some signature courses, once in a lifetime opportunity,
Some
and
greyhound.
then just some fucking a dog just appears and it's oh, here you go, here's the dog.
It's not even choice cuts of meat. It's undeniably a roasted dog.
No, well, obviously they would prepare it, but they would tell you, because you would know, you would want to know, what am I eating?
Honestly, just for the experience, I would probably.
Who knows, man?
Probably, I would be down. Because dude, I've been to petting zoos before and I've hung out with pigs, and yeah, man, they have an astounding intelligence and an emotional, they have, emotional intelligence to, they're pigs, they're not stupid animals. But I'll eat a pig, and it's that kind of thing, I mean, it's one of those things where, I love eating meat. I do believe that the farming industry is horrific, and that needs to be sussed out. But if I go to another country and they're like, "Hey, the chef has prepared you this meal," I'm far be it from me to just say no, I don't wanna.
Yeah, you might as well try it.
Yeah,
right? That's what
if
I'm saying.
I've never had it before.
Yeah.
Now, if I have a perfectly cooked dog steak and it ends up being kind of gross, then I'll be like, yeah, I'm not gonna eat that anymore.
But if it's amazing, if it's damn,
if it's incredible and it completely destroys my perception of what food is, then yeah, man.
Why not, dude?
then they'll be addicted to dog meat.
Oh god. Mad dog disease.
What an addiction.
Is it? Yeah.
Rel's just eating humans' dogs everywhere.
Yeah,
dude.
what an
Oh,
unfortunate-
Jesus.
Dog killer on the loose.
Under the Silver Lake.
Dude, yeah, that movie, you gotta watch Under the Silver Lake.
I do. I need to
So
watch it.
fucking weird, man.
I have to watch Under the
That
Silver
movie
Lake.
is it's just because we watched it. I know Ian didn't really like it at all,
Wasn't a fan.
but I found something interesting in there, even though it's nonsense. But I thought it was just an interesting depiction of the dude.
Talking
Yeah,
about me.
Yeah,
literally,
Revel, bro.
that's you. You're the dog killer.
Insane.
Terrible.
No, but look at that drawing of the hooded dog killer. Do you see that?
no.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Those were the coolest parts.
So funny. I loved the way the movie was shot.
Oh,
I
it
loved
looked-
the
yeah.
way. I just liked the way they showed LA. It was the most realistic depiction of LA in my opinion. More so than La La Land or anything. Obviously,
100%, yeah,
It was
yeah.
just realistic streets. Oh my god, that's exactly what
I didn't
that
think
looks
La
like.
La Land had a realistic depiction at all. That was supposed to
Yeah.
be set in modern times, right? Or no, that was
Yeah,
I think it was.
It was?
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Dude, it also just felt weird that they were just I don't know, just it was just Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
Again. Hollywood's favorite couple, I swear. I just really didn't like that the movie began with those two people singing the singing on the freeway. That that like these two beautiful ass people of color just singing this song, and I'm like, oh my god, are these like the main characters? If you hadn't seen the trailer, and then it just focuses on Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
Yeah, and then like Ryan Gosling's trying to like save Jazz.
What does that even mean?
It's like, wait, what? It's like, I want to bring Jazz back.
It's a dying breed.
Like Gosling, you know what I mean? Like, okay.
It's like honestly, it's like it's just that thing that it's just like him trying to gentrify jazz. Like people showing up at like things that have been primarily like things of color, and then a white person showing up saying like we can save it, which basically is just we can market it better. We can market it like white people do.
Yeah, it's weird. And then like I just hated like just the relationship aspect of it. It was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also the singing wasn't good. All right?
No.
The singing wasn't good and the dancing wasn't good.
No,
all right?
Yeah,
it wasn't anything to write home about.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematography was kind of cool.
It was that was the best part. But it was not even like Ryan Gosling was performing in a jazz club, like a cool jazz club. He was in like a fancy like Italian restaurant playing at a piano.
Yeah, like he's trying to save jazz, but he's not like.
And the business was owned by like J.K. Simmons. Like,
oh my god!
The fuck?
Yeah, like
we got Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Yeah, he was like the same character too.
Dude.
He's like, all right, it's like I need to close up so I can go home and verbally abuse this kid I'm teaching drums to.
We got Miles.
And he's Jay Jonah.
Oh
and
man!
He needs pictures for Spider-Man. He's like,
he needs all that shit.
He's just
wild.
stressed out.
Just stressed out forever.
Yeah, dude.
But he's like, I feel like a lot of actors are just kind of like, they luck out with like specific roles, and then Hollywood always goes like, oh dude, like that's totally like a J.K. Simmons role. Let's just get J.K. Simmons, and that's how you like have a career as an actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like most actors just fit a certain category. Mm-hmm. Even if it's like a Leonardo DiCaprio, or kind of like, all right, he's a main character type.
Or Brad Pitt, I'd say, is only being typecast now.
Now for sure he's being typecast.
The cool, older main character.
Yeah.
Who's cool with everything, and he can take care of himself. And
he's in space.
But
he's the same dude.
He's the same
old guy.
He's just Cliff Booth now.
We were talking about Harrison Ford and how like he's he's kind of like found like his career is weird because I feel like he thinks of acting as like just a job, like his he started as a carpenter first, and then he just started lucking out with all these fucking franchises like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, all this shit. But like if you
Blade Runner,
if you listen to the way he talks about movies, he's really just like it's like, oh my god, like how does it feel like to jump back into Star Wars? And it's like, it's all about the paycheck. And he literally says that. He literally is like, he's like, well, at first I was like, they're bringing it back. And then I looked at the paycheck. And then literally it's like,
dude, come on.
All he does is like, he flies planes and smokes weed.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
It's like he's living the dream, Loki.
Honestly.
Like, and then everybody gets like, and I think that's part of like the running gag of him being these super nostalgic, like fan-filled characters, because like everyone cares way more than he does about it.
That's he doesn't give a fuck.
Like when they were gonna bring back Star Wars, with The Force Awakens, and they're like, so Star Wars is coming back, and he's just like, and it's like,
dude, look up Harrison Ford plane crash and like, or like just smoking weed. Harrison Ford smoking weed.
What was his first movie that he did? Was it Star Wars?
No.
I don't actually know.
Was it?
We should look that up as well.
What am I looking for? Like a video?
Just like
I want to see the plane crash.
Harrison Ford's alternate pastime, weed. Is that what that just said?
What?
Dude, look at that.
Oh my god. Harrison.
What are you doing over here?
What fucking plane was he flying, dude?
It's the plane from The Mummy.
That is so...
Yeah, he dug it out of the sand,
dumb.
Rebuilt it, and then crashed it.
Dude, he fucked
it looks
it
like
up.
the planes that killed King Kong.
Yeah, dude. He's flying like some World War II era
Look at the
shit.
image on the side. Oh, he's like,
And he crashed it in an open field. I think that's like the best part. He crashed it in the best scenario.
He's prepared. Oh.
not
try to look at that.
How much weed do you think was in the glove box of that?
I know, right?
Planes have glove boxes. I don't know. Do they?
Maybe. Maybe one of these small guys does.
Maybe.
Do you think he I mean, He probably like I'd be wondering to see how big his stash is at home.
Oh, he probably grows it. I'm sure it's
right.
Yeah,
he
he has
grows it
some-
himself, and he's probably got it in his cool little greenhouse, where he's got like tomatoes, he's got parsley, and he's got like
Shit
Kush
ton of
and
weed.
Ew.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh my, wait a minute.
Is that him?
Harrison, yo.
Yo, look at that dude.
God.
Look at that guy. That guy smokes weed. Look
Yeah, he totally smokes weed. Like,
at Harrison's
Yeah,
board,
he
man.
is chilling right
Look at
there.
this dude. Is that Luke?
Oh, that's so
Hey,
dope.
it's the
yeah,
gang.
It's the gang
The
right
squad.
there.
That's the gang. What's on Luke's shirt? It's like a walnut with a little tentacle coming out of it.
Yeah, I don't.
Fire sale.
It's Supreme.
It's the origins of
The OG
Supreme.
Supreme.
Look at George Lucas. He looked like
That
a
is not
different human
George.
being.
Wow, this was pre-goiter George Lucas.
Yeah, dude. I want to see a before and after. Post-goiter.
What is
Pre-goiter.
goiter?
Goiter, dude, that thing underneath his.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Large, his neck fat is like.
I don't think it's fat. It's something else.
It's just cartilage.
I heard I heard the goiter was like it's like when you get a goiter, it's like made of something else. It's like flesh.
Yeah, because definitely look at that,
Look at this motherfucker.
dude. He looks like Papa Smurf. Like, you know what I mean? Like he looks
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
But
man.
then this one,
He reminds me of like Finn Slingerland.
Has he ever
I see that. Yeah, I see that a little bit. We'll put a photo in.
Dude, has he ever on record thanked his wife for saving his entire franchise?
I don't think he ever has. He literally claims of like he claims that he like. I mean, I just watched like I sent you it, but I watched this hilarious video of like George Lucas and Christopher Nolan just talking about Star Wars. And he like talks about like himself editing it, and I'm like, dude, like your wife helped you out with that. Like she's like reason. There's an entire beginning part of Star Wars that just has Luke like talking with his friends and shit. Like he has like friends and like he has like a whole
That would
little
have been terrible.
and like she literally was just like, let's get this fucking shit out of here.
He was like, there was a moment where they were leaving a bar with his friend who also wasn't in that same friend, and then he was drinking blue milk and getting drunk off of it.
Dude, yeah. Like it's weird.
Dude,
that's
it
that's
made
stupid.
like no sense.
Or maybe it was just that. Maybe there was no, because like I just remember like them like leaving somewhere with like his friend. They looked like they were like, they just looked like they were just like shooting the shit. It was just didn't feel like Star Wars. I was like, Luke doesn't have any friends. He's like alone on a farm. Like, and some
like,
random house in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, it's the worst. Tatooine's like the worst place to grow up.
Dude, what about
Yeah,
Jakku?
right.
What about
Jakku?
Jakku?
Tatooine.
Tatooine Part 2. It's like literally, it's like you're rebooting Star Wars and you decide to just have it set in the desert planet that's not Tatooine. Like, why would you do that?
I just don't like the idea of that. Like, I mean, I'm not bashing Star Wars as a whole just because, it's undeniably successful and it means a lot to everybody, and I love a lot of different aspects of Star Wars. I do think it's really, really dumb that every planet has one single environment. Like, this is the jungle planet. This
So
is
stupid.
the water planet. This is the ice world, the forest moon of Endor. And then Naboo is just like, just like deciduous forest and like fields and stuff. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, what is this? And
Because also, like, I feel like they were just, back then when they were conceptualizing Star Wars, it's kind of like, okay, what's like a crazy thing that no one has seen before? Okay, an entire planet that's just a desert. You know what I mean? It's like, at the time you could see it, but then now it becomes dated where it's like, well, planets have like different ecosystems, so
Biomes,
like,
yeah.
like if you
and,
just look
and
at
biomes and like weird.
Yeah, if you just look at Earth, the amount of different ecosystems on Earth is crazy. There's like salt flats, there's geyser fields, there's phosphorus volcanoes that are yellow. This is weird. We live in a very strange planet. And the fact that the new movies didn't really take any opportunity to be like, hey, let's come up with like a really weird, an environment for them to be in. Oh, salt? Okay, never mind. It's salt. Like, it's all salt.
Also, it's stupid. He's like, it's salt. It's like, all right, you wrote that in the script, and we're like, all right, let's shoot this part. Let's make sure that people
this
know
happens.
that it's salt. Like, it's
So
like,
dumb.
who cares? I wouldn't have even given a second thought as to what it was. I'm like, they're on some planet. I'm assuming it wasn't snow because whenever they were dragging their ship skimmer things off of it, there was like, the red smoke. I'm like, oh, maybe it's like some weird like iron deposit and crystal or something. I mean, there's crystal foxes everywhere. I was gonna assume it's just all crystals, but no, it's salt. So
you have an opinion on the crystal foxes, right?
It's just I don't know, man. I just think they look like Pokemon, and I feel like there's so many really cool, interesting. I feel like,
so bad,
dude. Like, there's so many weird Star Wars creatures from like the prequels. I feel like the prequels, they went in on like, now we have CG. Now let's make some weird looking Star Wars creatures.
Like the bug people were cool, even though like they're
the Genosians.
Like
even in the very first movie when they were they were swimming through Naboo's molten planet core, the water planet core, and there was like that big anglerfish. Then there was that weird crocodile mantis eel thing.
Shit was sick.
Then there was the giant like salamander otter thing. I'm like, these are all really cool and weird, but like nah. Crystal fox.
And it's just
also like they made a practical one.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the side,
this one.
Yeah, that one.
like that one right there, up there versus the movie trailer.
Yeah.
That's
what?
Like, dude,
it's funny too.
They had an animatronic like
that's
like,
crystal fox, and they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't see that one in the movie at all.
Like
that one doesn't even have the same
snout.
proportions.
Yeah, dude, the snout's different. I think, right? Like, look at this shit.
That's
it looks
cool,
beautiful,
bro.
It looks so cute.
So cute. Yeah, because it had like longer ears in the movie. Get him out of there. Boyega, come on.
Dude, shout out to John Boyega joining the
absolutely.
True. Yeah. That was sick.
Absolutely.
You gotta respect that.
Dude, that speech was awesome too.
Yeah, it was awesome. I like that Jordan Peele hit him up, and it was like, dude, we got you. Like, don't worry, you will work after this.
Yeah.
That was very tight.
Oh, I didn't even hear about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude. He was in his speech. He was like, I'm probably not gonna get a lot of work after this, but I need to do this. And Jordan Peele like tweeted it. He's like, "We got you, fam." Like,
hell yeah.
That's it. That's what's up, man. Because this isn't a political movement. This is like this is a civil rights movement.
Yeah.
That's why it's whenever people don't like. It's like Starbucks saying their employees can't wear Black Lives Matter stuff because like, oh, we don't want to be political. It's like a political opinion does not. This is not a political opinion.
Yeah, like you have an inherent privilege to not get political. You know what I'm saying? Some people have to get political.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Oh.
What is that?
Nothing. I like found this hair tie in my shoe. It's funny. When you got long hair, you find just hair ties everywhere, and you're just like always happy to see one.
You tend to lose them a lot, but then you find them in interesting spots.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's just my life. I snap them all the time too. It's terrible.
You went to a protest though.
I did.
We went to a protest, but you've been going to a lot of them.
Yeah, I've been going to a bunch of them. They've never gotten like crazy or violent when I've been there, but it definitely there were like moments where it was kind of tense.
Yeah, because the cops take it too far. The cops always, literally, it's like the smallest thing. Like, they just find any excuse to be crazy. Mm-hmm. It's just, that's the only thing that's kind of, like, scary about going, because you don't know what the cops are going to do to the crowds.
Yeah, you don't know what they're going to do.
It's just dangerous when they're setting up, I think it's dangerous when they're not letting protesters go certain places, because then that just makes inherent tension, and then it's like the curfew. Because then you're just stopping people's right to protest.
Yeah.
To an extent,
thankfully,
which is fucked up.
Thankfully, the curfew's like been out of here. Yeah. But during the beginning, when there was a curfew, like it was definitely scary. Like at one point when we were heading to downtown, before you came with me.
This is in LA, right?
Yeah, this is in LA.
Cool.
We were headed to downtown for a sit-in in front of City Hall, and we were on the train, and we were on the Expo line, and we passed. We passed Pershing Square station. Mm-hmm. Was it Pershing Square? No. It was, we were headed to 7th Street and Metro Station, and right before we get there, all the power in the train was just cut. Everything. And the train just stopped. And we were all in the train like, what the fuck?
So
What is this? And then one of the Metro guys had to exit his little cubicle. He went outside. He turned everything on manually. And then he got back in. He's like, sorry, you guys. And then we were like, oh, it's cool. I'm like, that was weird. and then the train heads backwards.
What?
And we're like, what's going on? And there's a dude sitting next to me. He's like, what is this? And I'm like, we're heading backwards. He's like, no, we're not. I'm like, dude, look outside the window. Look at the wall. And he's like, oh my God, we are heading backwards. What's going on? Why is this happening? And he's like, and I'm like, and he's like, I gotta get home, And then we go up, and then we hear on the loudspeaker, not even from Metro, from the specific dude conducting the train, going like, yo, we just got orders. We can't take the train into downtown. They've shut us down. We have to go back and stop. And then he's like, this is garbage. I need to get home. I need to get to Union so I can take the train home. And I'm like,
Jesus.
And he's like, what about, because the buses aren't running? Because the buses weren't running at the time. And
how does this guy get home? Did you well, obviously,
dude, I don't even know, man. Like,
fuck.
He probably had to call an expensive ass lift to take his ass home, spend money,
shit.
It was garbage. So then we had to walk all the way downtown.
Oh my God.
So we were all sweaty and tired by the time we got there. And little by little, and then they instituted the curfew, and they were doing that thing where it's like, oh, the curfew's at 8 o'clock, and then we would get there, and then 30 minutes before 7, they'd be like, hey, so now the curfew's at 7, and we'd be like, oh shit,
Fuck you, yeah.
And the city was really trying to bully the protesters into just stopping.
Just giving up, yeah.
Yeah, and then when they realized they couldn't do that, they called in the National Guard, and then the National Guard was there just fronting, and they're like, hey, and we're all like, fuck you,
Yeah, they're always trying to talk to you.
They're trying to talk
weird.
to you because they're trying to be friendly, it's just a job, but it's you can choose your career, kind of.
100%.
It's like when people who serve subpoenas, they're like, yeah, hey, it's just a job, but it's like, no, bro.
No, but you enjoyed driving
about it.
over here, finding me, and then handing this to me. You enjoyed that.
Yeah, you liked serving me this.
That
sucks. It's like Seth Rogen's character in Pineapple Express. You get a rise out of telling people they got to show up in court.
Yeah.
Because if it was literally just about the money, you'd do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, dude. But yeah, it was very powerful going to the protests.
Yeah, it was intense.
Because everyone there is super cool and just it's minus the cops, but I'm just saying all the protesters are really cool.
What was really interesting, and I'm glad you were there for that, was when me, you, and Jason were walking down the street, that one lady who joined us, and she was hanging out outside some restaurant that was closed, and she's like, hey, can I join you guys? And we're like, yeah, sure, come on, without a second thought. We're like, yeah, sure. And she's like, awesome, cool, this short white lady. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm glad, my friends were gonna come out, me and all my friends, but they totally bailed. And I'm like, oh, that's a bummer,
That sucks.
And she's like, yeah, I used to be, because I used to be Blue Lives Matter, I'm a veteran, I used to believe the cops were here to protect us, but. And I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, and that's why all my friends bailed on me because, we were all Blue Lives Matter, but I couldn't support this anymore, just seeing what the cops are doing, they're out of line. This is too much.
That's amazing.
This country's police department, this country's police force as a whole is fucked. And so she's like, so now I'm just gonna take out this, she took out this huge blunt, and she's like, so I'm just gonna smoke this in front of the police, Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, that's the first time in my life that I've seen that in person. Seeing someone be like, yeah, I was so hard Blue Lives Matter, and now not anymore.
That's hard to come across. The switching of sides like that, man.
Yeah,
that's
because
great.
I feel like people are scared to change their opinions because they feel like it's losing. Mm-hmm. And I also feel like a lot of people are trying their best to
Dude, that is so
a lot of people are trying their best to learn, but when you're it's difficult. Because recently I got into it a little bit with somebody I used to know who was posting stuff about posting that very, she doesn't even live in the US anymore. And so she's a little disconnected from what's going on. And she was posting a lot of that, that kind of stuff that's I've been seeing a lot of hostility on both sides. And it's just
fuck you.
And I didn't get into it at first. Then they were posting another thing with Joey salads on it, and and I'm just like, I gotta step in, I gotta talk, and I'm like, hey, this guy's a known instigator and just a racist,
straight up,
and I'm like, he's just making stuff he's just instigating for views and for attention. And they're like, oh, seems like a lot of that going around. I'm like, no, listen. And basically, they had that mentality where like there's the good protesters and then there's the bad protesters who loot and riot, and that's such a slippery slope to talk about because especially it's a slippery slope to talk about when you don't get what's going on.
For sure.
Because talking about the looting and the destruction that comes from any civil rights movement is focusing on the symptom and not the cause. It's like it's like when you have cancer and you get discolorations on the skin and thinking, oh, let me prescribe something to get those discolorations off your skin, not let me help you work on your cancer treatment. It's focusing on the symptom and not that. So it was really difficult, and I didn't really get anywhere with it, and I just got really frustrated. And I'm like, this isn't...
I was there when you were trying to like...
Yeah, man. It was... And at the end, I was kind of like, it's not a person of color's responsibility to tell you, to educate you on why this behavior is destructive.
She was just being a hardhead, too.
She was being a hardhead.
That's the worst, dude. I hate that shit.
Because I feel like racists, and this isn't even just talking about... I'm not even like focusing on like white people, different people of color are also like there's a lot of Latinos who are super anti-black. And the problem with when you trying to tell someone about their racist beliefs is like kind of like the stages of acceptance. It's super difficult to get through that stage of denial because when like the possibility of someone being racist and it makes people not want to learn. It makes people not want to think about, am I racist? Because of cancel culture, I feel.
Yeah.
Because, which we were talking about earlier too, where cancel culture, I feel like, is inhibiting people from learning. Because we've got this, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like in the case of like cats like Kevin Spacey, cancel him.
Cancel him, yeah.
Sure.
Or like people going after like saying like shit like that where it's like they're clearly still on that racist or pedophile or sexist brain, like they should go away. But when it comes to something like a YouTuber who's been very cool recently, within the past like years they've been cool, but then like you find something from 2002 where they're like, oh, they did like a goofy ass racist joke and it's still online, I don't know if they should be completely canceled for that. Yeah. But because of cancel culture, they're like, nah, if you didn't start off on like the path of the righteous, then you're not worth saving. And I feel like that's just such a slippery mindset to get into because not only does it inhibit I feel like it inhibits your empathy, but it also stops people who have grown up in racist households who don't share those racist mindsets. They're scared of asking people, hey, so like, what is Juneteenth?
Yeah.
Like, and then people will be like, you don't know what Juneteenth, you need to educate yourself. And it's like, I'm trying, and not a lot of people know what it is. And so because of that, because of this, and they're afraid of getting canceled. So I feel like cancel culture. The way I see like cancel culture right now is like a grenade or like a landmine where it needs to be more of like a sniper.
Yeah.
It needs to we need to cancel specific people. We can't just send out a wide destructive wave of anybody who we even think might have like, it's like, that's racist. They must be an inherent monster. Like, no, like they could be like, they're like, which comedian was it whose wife was from like, it was from like Sweden or something, who like didn't understand like racist stuff. There was like a comedian, it was the guy, I keep forgetting his name. He got really jacked recently.
Kumail Nanjiani?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was making a joke about how his wife didn't understand why he couldn't pull a cab. And it's like, oh, because, they're like making jokes about how I'm, like a doctor or something, because of like the Indian doctor thing. And then they're like, and then she's like, well, how is that an insult? Doctors are a very respectable thing. And it's like, no, you don't get it, because there's like not a lot of racism towards this demographic happening there.
That's crazy.
So I feel like cancel culture kind of like ignores the nuance of misunderstanding and
100%.
focuses only on, do you know? Oh, okay, you're good. You don't know? Oh, then fuck you. You know, it's not, life isn't black and white like that. That doesn't mean that I'm not like, you know, that I'm not for holding people accountable, but at the same time, and like, yeah, I get exhausted explaining shit to people who don't get it too. But at the same time, like, I think that we're in a very interesting point in time where, because of these protests, more people than ever are starting to become aware of this bullshit. Just systemic racism, our over-militarized and hyper-violent police force, and the complete apathy of our government. So people are starting to become really aware of it, especially when you got people who have never been affected by racism or poverty or anything before suddenly being like, where's my stimulus check? You know, like, there are people who still haven't gotten their stimulus checks. People who aren't just in, like, you know, poorer classes neighborhoods, but who are in, like, you know, who have been making a lot of money doing something else, and they're well off, but suddenly they have no income. Like actors. Like, a lot of actors' careers are in, like, the toilet now. And so they're like, why am I not being prioritized anymore? What is this garbage? And it's like, oh, well, you know, a lot of people aren't being prioritized anymore, you know? This is what people have been talking about. And they're like, and thankfully, it's nice to see a lot of people like, yo, I understand now. We need to do something about this. And it's like, great, you know? Which is why it's nice to see, you know, like, it's like, you know, if you're scared to go to protests, which is fine. It's good, like, another way to help the movement is, you know, send out as many, like, you know, like, literature as you can, you know, spread the word, information. Because at this point, Twitter and Instagram have become, like, the de facto news source, since news outlets cannot agree on anything.
Yeah. And then back onto the cancel culture thing, it's just interesting because it makes thinking about how people just don't want to be wrong. Because if you're wrong, that doesn't mean you're canceled, but that's what people think of it as, and they just don't want to be wrong so much that their ignorance totally blinds their racism or whatever they're saying, you know?
It's exactly that.
But then also, because of the cancel culture, I feel like people don't, like, say anything anymore. Like, people don't really have opinions anymore. Like, if you really talk about, like, like, if you know, it's more so, like, younger people, like, in our generation, you know, they don't, when you bring up, like, politics or, like, social issues or just, like, what's going on in the world right now, you know, it's kind of hard to gauge an opinion because you don't really want to be canceled and you don't really feel like you're just kind of like, and then it's almost like gauging what the other person thinks. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times it's almost like, you know, I say my opinion and then the other person goes like, yeah. Dude, exactly. It's like, all right, you know what I mean?
Because you can't disagree anymore. If you disagree, then it's an issue. You know?
Then it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
maybe have a conversation, you know?
It's weird. Because, you know, I think that now it's so, like, especially with, like, just, like, you know, like, Trump being president, like, he's like, just dividing, like, just the country. So now it's kind of like you're either this or that.
Yeah, in his eyes, you're either his supporter or you're Antifa.
Yeah, or the devil.
So funny. Like, he's like, and he labels Antifa as a terrorist group, but, like, Antifa doesn't exist. So it's like, it's like it doesn't exist at all. Like, it's so funny.
It's just this, like, idea made up by, like, scared Republicans. Oh, the leftists are militarizing and they're coming after. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's so funny, too. That's how you know that, like, all those, like, gun-toting Republicans are full of shit. Because when the police and, like, they all had a problem with, they were the ones who had a real problem with the quarantine. And it's like, oh, you know, we're not going to stand for this. They're out there protesting with their rifles and stuff. It's like, if there was ever a time to take over the government, like you guys always wanted to do, that was the time. You could do it, you know? You guys have the guns. Put your money where your mouth is, you know? Because they don't actually want to do that.
No.
You know?
They just want to look cool and scary.
Yeah, they want to look hype, you know? They just want to be edgy and they just want a PvP zone, you know? It's like, they don't want to actually, like, fight for, like, what their idyllic country will be. They're just
There was that like, photo that went around where it was, like, just showing, like, a super fucking Call of Duty-esque tactical police armor.
Yeah.
And then next to what the doctors have, they have like trash bag aprons
Yeah.
and
Jesus.
it's just like, dude, what are we prioritizing here? Like,
For
you know what I
real.
mean? Like, that's crazy. That the doctors have to take trash bags and
Dude,
that's crazy.
Awful. Meanwhile, the police get to pick their custom loadout and
Dude,
get all of
yeah.
their
Reticles.
their special skins, and their little charm tags and stuff. They can do whatever they want. It's like
Stupid.
it's like, you know how expensive riot gear is. It's like
Yeah.
so expensive.
And PPE is cheap.
Yeah, one riot gear can pay for I think like 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah, that's insane. I just don't want to go into a second lockdown.
Low key, we might.
I know.
We're probably
it's
gonna-
probably
dude.
gonna happen.
I think it's probably going to go on like coronavirus vibes till next year, like mid next year.
I think so too. Trump wants to cancel coronavirus research. We don't even have a vaccine yet.
That's insane.
He wants to cease funding.
Yeah, man.
And Fauci's like,
Jesus.
what? He's like, are you
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's like, really? What do you mean? He's like,
That's fucking
he's like, the more
crazy.
testing you do, the more cases show up. Stop with the testing. It's
Wait,
like,
what?
he said that, yeah.
But there's a higher rate of positives. It's like he's just dumbass.
It's like if no precautions are taken and you keep testing, of course there's going to be more cases.
Yeah.
It's
Because what's the plan? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the next step?
There is
Like,
none.
You know?
That's what's so crazy too. There's like no plan
Yeah.
from like both sides. The election's coming up, and like Biden also doesn't have a plan.
Oh,
His
God, dude,
only
yeah.
plan has been like, we're gonna beat Trump, and we're gonna with the and you just do you ever have a dream where you can you do so much you can do anything?
You can do anything.
And it's just like. And I'm just like,
Oh, shit.
Jesus. Joe.
it's like, oh,
That's-
that's why they call him
yikes.
Sleepy Joe.
It's fucked up, dude. I know.
Sleepy. Oh, man.
I didn't even think about the election, dude.
No
Right,
one
no one
has.
is.
No one is.
No one
one's thinking
has.
about it. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I just want to survive long enough to get the PlayStation 5.
Dude, I want
I just
the
want to play
PlayStation
Elden
5.
Ring.
That's all I want.
Dude, let's look up that Demon Souls trailer
Bro,
real
I'm
quick.
so down.
Dude, I could talk for hours about the Demon Souls.
So
Because
sick.
I never played the first Demon Souls, but...
Me neither.
Did you play the first Demon Souls?
Yeah, dude. This is gonna be a whole ass vibe for you guys specifically. Your age group and lower are gonna have a time. This is what I love about remasters and why I kind of tell people who are against like, oh, why aren't you just making new games instead of remasters? It's like, first of all, shut up. Because shut up. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
First of all,
Dumbass.
yeah, I love getting new games, but Demon Souls was one of the first games to come out on the PlayStation 3. And
Oh.
it really shows because, the lighting is really weird. The controls are jank. Big
Yeah, I know,
jank. OG Demon Souls, dude, is like the most janky experience. If you think like Dark Souls 1 on the PlayStation 3 was jank,
Yeah.
and it was like, wow, this game is so blocky. It couldn't possibly get any blockier. Demon Souls was hard jank. It was also so
Jesus.
weird because all of the things that people didn't like about Dark Souls, people hated about Demon Souls. If you were really good in Magic early game, you could just one-shot bosses. Not even you could just one blast, you're done.
That's fucked.
You're on PvP, one blast of some magic, you're done.
You're there.
And what's I'm really excited about with this is
Dude, what is going
It's lagging like a mother.
oh no, what is your name? Well, dude, you got to put in your name. You haven't made your character yet. There you go.
Poop poo.
What's your email, poo poo?
Wow.
Damn,
Just
bro, they're
asking
trying to get all my
bullshit.
information. All
Tell
right.
me. But
I guess we'll just watch this.
Yeah, right.
oh yeah.
That's annoying though. Is the Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
I have
it's-
an Ethernet cable, but it's not.
I don't have
Oh
Ethernet.
yeah. Bluepoint is the one who's remaking it too. They did the
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus remake, which is amazing. Perfect remaster. Perfect in every sense of the word.
That shit looked so good.
I've
It
heard
was-
really good things, yeah.
Oh my god. Have you played the original Shadow of the Colossus?
No.
Because they remade it a couple of times. They did Shadow of the Colossus, PS2. Then they released it again with an HD remake, which was on the PS3. Then I think you could also get it again on the PS4. I keep burping for some reason. I think it was those dog treats. And then it's coming back. And then they did this cool remaster. So not only is it proof that I've bought Shadow of the Colossus like multiple times, but also that like there are people who played Shadow of the Colossus on the PS4 and it was their first time playing it. Like Jason never played Shadow of the Colossus. It was his very first time playing it and he was like, this game is amazing. This is crazy. The scope is unreal. And he's like, why are the physics so good? I'm like, the physics have always been like this. It's just crazy.
Because that like the first game to do like the climbing mechanics where you're on like a timed grip strength thing?
I think so. My video game knowledge is not encyclopedic, but I think that Shadow of the Colossus was the first game where you're going up against these big, horrifyingly huge creatures, and you have like the normal strength of like a teenage boy. So you're
crazy.
like, you're fast on your
That's
horse,
sick.
and then you'll get off, and you just kind of like run, and it's just like, it's incredible. So Demon Souls is basically, I am very hype about what's going to go on with this one.
Yeah, man.
Just because it looks amazing. They're adding new stuff to the environments because, there was obviously in older games, there's a certain amount of things you can put on the screen before the game starts going really slow. But with the PlayStation 5, you can have so many random ass little things on the screen. Now they're like, oh, well,
But even
this place will be good with moss.
But
Look at this shit.
Yeah,
All
dude.
the particles.
But do you think, is that gameplay or is that like, is that cutscene?
I low-key think that this is gameplay. Only because Demon Souls had a CG cutscene, like Dark Souls 1. But, and this was part of like the cutscene.
So
but all of the
cool.
boss footage in the game is in-game cutscenes. Like that's how they always did it. So when you would see stuff like this, dude, this is in-game.
So cool.
Like that, this garbage is in-game, dude.
Is this game like online as well?
Yes.
Like, okay, dude.
And
so it's
we
perfect.
gotta
Demon
play
Souls,
together.
dude, Demon Souls' online was the most unforgiving.
That looks like gameplay.
So
like that,
cool. Yeah.
That looked like gameplay.
Yeah, this is all gameplay.
That just looks like Dark Souls on steroids.
Fuck, man.
Dude, this
I
game
know.
was Dark Souls on steroids. Because the game, so you know how Dark Souls had that thing where, like, depending on the game you would play, like, Dark Souls 1 was like, oh, if you die, you're hollow. But if you're a human, you can get invaded. And then Dark Souls 2 took it to, like, added, like, fucking cocaine to the mix, and they're like, every time you die, your health bar gets smaller.
So annoying.
And like, but also you can get invaded whenever. And then Dark Souls 3 did the thing where like, they did the Dark Souls 1 thing where like, when you're normal, when you're undead, and when you're embered, you get invaded.
Embered, hell yeah.
Embered.
Yeah, dude.
Demon Souls was on a whole other level where basically you would, if you were the undead, I can't remember what it was. If you were undead, your health bar would just be half. It wouldn't be like slowly whittled away. If you were undead, you're half.
That's
just half health.
insane.
Just half base health off the bat.
You're
Didn't
fucked.
Dark Souls 2 do that though?
Dark Souls 2 did it where every time you died, it would slowly get smaller.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved Dark Souls 2 when I first played it, but it's not as good.
No.
Demon Souls also did this thing that no other Souls game did, where depending on each world you would be in, and it would also gauge what other people online were doing. If you did more dark actions, it would make the world harder, but if you did more light actions, it would make the world easier. And by light actions would be like, killing bosses, that would be killing bosses, getting items, killing enemies without dying. But if you died too many times, the game would get harder, and like red phantom versions of enemies would just show up. And so basically Demon Souls kind of like, if you were bad at the game...
Red Phantoms for people who don't know.
Yeah, Red Phantoms were basically similar, like the same enemies you would find in the game, but with a spooky red glow over them, and they would just also be harder.
Yeah,
So
they'd be OP.
Yeah, they would just be OP. And so Demon Souls was just all about that, like, if you're good at the game, nice, good job, If you're bad at the game, then like, fuck you, we're gonna make the game harder.
Get good. Yeah,
Get good. And I am really excited for just how this is gonna pan out, like there's a boss in Demon Souls that's like
the lowest res.
oh
Yeah,
sorry.
why is it so bad?
That's the Wi-Fi.
Dude,
It still looks cool though.
Wi-Fi.
I mean, it looks even better with a low res because
Dude,
it's like,
I'm just like the Wi-Fi in the studio is so bad.
Yeah.
Like it's just Renfield's in a weird. It's just like all Wi-Fi in Renfield's shit.
Low
It's
key,
just
I
weird
still don't have
towers.
any signal, so it's like,
Oh, damn.
I don't know what the deal is.
It's dude, uploading the podcast here, such a mistake. Like we have
Yeah,
to drive
we-
back
yeah.
to LA and just
We'll
actually
do it back at home next
Yeah,
time.
because
If we can
holy
get
shit,
outta here.
it was such
Yeah,
a
I know,
mistake.
right?
Yeah,
Yo, is this one better than that? I'll figure it out.
When I
later.
crossed
Well,
when I
technically
crossed the
it's-
railroad thing, like it just like closed behind me, and like it didn't raise the entire time I was looking at it until I like came into the studio. So it was a
And
little-
you didn't see a train go? Or
no, I didn't see a
That's
train at all.
Fucking weird.
That's
It just
weird.
it was like gling. It was scary. It was weird. It was like gling.
And you drove up here alone, right?
Yeah, I drove up here alone in my little
Spooky.
Chevy Bolt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But because I okay all right. No, because I was trying to frame my thought and I was like back onto the PS5 thing. Because I'm still kind of confused as to like what's like besides graphics, like what's like better.
I think the processing power. I don't know the specs off the cuff, but let me see if I can like squeeze some signal and see if I can
Maybe
find
I
the specs for the
can,
PS5. But I just know that it can handle more stuff on screen. And supposedly they're like aiming at like no loading times. Just no loading times, which is like
Berserk.
all right, let's see it.
Hell yeah.
But
We're a big PlayStation people here,
Oh, of
so
course.
we are big PlayStation people.
We're
are not on that.
we're on
Xbox.
that we're on the Wi-Fi, the giant Wi-Fi router route
I
versus
think-
the giant
yeah,
refrigerator.
right.
Yeah, like it's got
The
a
Wi-Fi's working
Yeah, it's 4K. It's got like an
Well, because
AMD Zen 2
I've been
based
playing The
CPU.
Last of Us, and I'm not gonna spoil anything because I
Of
know
course.
Ian's playing it. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but just gameplay wise, it's really fucking impressive. Like I just
yeah.
the amount of shit that's on screen at like one time. Like I remember in the you've played the beginning, so I can talk about this. But just in the town when you're
my
walking
God.
around as Ellie. There's like little wildlife. What are you doing?
What's going on back
I
there?
think I was just seeing what that is. No, yeah.
What are you
The
doing?
wildlife.
All right. Okay. But basically, yeah, the wildlife has a interesting. What are you doing?
You can't eat the batteries,
what are you
dude.
doing eating the batteries?
Jesus
Not the
Christ.
What are you doing eating the batteries? That's not.
The
Why would you do that?
The wildlife.
He just ate a battery.
Yeah, the intention to detail.
Anyway,
In the game.
I just thought it was interesting because you see like a squirrel running across the roof.
Oh shit, get him
on.
out.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
I loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Stuff like that was awesome. Like
Little things like that. Like, because I think that when Last of Us 1 came out, it was the most powerful shit on the PS3. They just pushed it so much. And then I think
Yeah.
that Last of Us 2 is just that again.
For the 4, yeah.
And then they're going to fucking do a remaster for the PS5. You know that
that's
they're gonna
why
do
I
this
didn't
shit.
buy it for the PlayStation 4. I know they're gonna do the
Oh, smart.
remaster. I'm gonna buy it on the PlayStation 5.
They're probably going to also remaster like other games as well. And just is it going to be
Definitely.
backwards compatible though?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
something
it
that.
is.
But the one with the CD drive is backwards compatible in terms of with your games because they're selling 2 copies. There's the purely
Yeah.
digital download one for all the weirdos out there,
Who the
and then
f-
there's
Yeah, who
Who
would
the fuck
buy
would buy that? Yeah.
It's gonna be cheaper though. It's gonna be like the
I
what's
bet,
the
yeah.
Nintendo Switch with the fucking with the no Joy-Con.
oh yeah, the
thing?
little one. The Switch Lite, is that
Or
what it's
some
called?
bullshit
No,
like that.
the Nintendo the DS Lite was no, that was the 2DS.
Dude, the 2DS was so weird. Do you
I
remember
liked
that
the-
thing?
I liked the
2DS was
2DS.
weird.
I thought it was weird.
Well, that was the flat one, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
flip it.
Yeah.
Kind
my-
of sick though.
Yeah, my best friend Jason got one and he loved it because his whole vibe was like, he's like, I don't care about the 3D, I just want the games.
Yeah.
And so it's like, fine, go for it. And
Well, it's not about the 3D. It's just about portability. Like you can't fit
It is
that thing in
big.
your pocket.
Yeah.
well, he's always has had a little bag,
Yeah,
It's
no,
cool.
for sure.
He lost
Satcheled
it,
up.
But like,
Oh no,
Yeah, I
he
didn't-
lost the 2DS.
yeah, he loves the 2DS.
Damn.
Sorry for telling that story.
Rest in peace.
No, that must have sucked because he has a
that's a
bunch of games on
bummer.
there, or no?
I don't know if he had a bunch of games on there. I think he had just like a couple. I know he had Pokemon on there. I don't know what other games he had on there. I think he might have just gotten it for Pokemon. But But that's fine. You know, he's got the PlayStation. And
Dude,
the
of course. He has
he's
he has the sickest PlayStation. He has like the PS Pro Spider-Man
he's got the
PlayStation
Pro?
that's like red
Yeah.
and it has like a
Shit.
giant spider on
That's
it.
sick.
And the
He's got-
controller
yeah,
is so sick.
He's got Dylan's copy of Spider-Man that he's still hasn't given back. Every
So funny.
time Dylan hits us up, he's like, "Dude, where's my Spider-Man?" And Jason's like, "I'm not gonna give it back."
That's so
He's
funny.
keeping it.
One day they'll fight. It'll be awesome to watch.
What do you guys
Hell
think of
yeah.
the controller?
I am down. It looks really comfy.
This is a shit photo. I don't know. I don't care. It looks cool.
Wow. All right.
You didn't like it though.
I didn't like it when I first saw it because I thought they were just like, you know, just wasn't vibing with the white.
I didn't peg you for a Philistine, but all right.
But you know, I'm coming around to it definitely. I like the size of it. It looks like it looks bulkier than the PS4, which I like.
It reminds me kind of like an Xbox One controller,
Yeah.
but just like kind of
agree.
shaped more like it fits like your hand and not like a giant troll hand. you
Yeah.
know?
They're way too big. The Xbox One. Yeah.
Xbox One controllers are made for like butcher hands. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
lumberjacks.
butcher
Weird.
hands and just big. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Fucking-
I mean, it's because like the Xbox One controller is comfy, but it's not ergonomic.
No.
It's, you know,
You can't
it's-
reach the D-pad,
Yeah.
or at least I can't. when
It's
that
like a beanbag, you know. It's like hell yeah, it's comfy, but it's not good for your back.
Yeah. Also, you know, I just think that it's weird that you still need like batteries to put in your
Yeah, what kind of
Stupid.
garbage is that?
Yeah, it's dumb.
What
like even for the
hell,
new
Microsoft?
Xbox. Like, dude, even for the new Xbox.
The Xbox Scarlet.
No, it's the Xbox Series X.
Right, that's what they're calling
The
it.
bullshit.
Series
Yeah, that one you still need batteries for the
Series X.
for the controller.
That's so dumb.
They should
man.
call it the Xbox 3000 or some like just go ham
know,
with
right?
Yeah,
get
dude.
silly with it. Like
And then just make it a sphere. Make it like Drake and Josh.
oh my
the
god,
game-
Dude, the game sphere.
Dude, that shit was like,
Spherical.
dude, it's literally just like the GameCube, but it's a
It was
sphere.
dude, and then like I remember at the same time, Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy got like a V Cube. It
I
was
know,
so
dude.
good.
Yeah, because like Nickelodeon was like hip back then with like what
Yeah,
kids were
look how
into.
cool that is.
Fuck is
Yeah.
that?
That's like it's
Game
so hype.
sphere.
That's like that's the coolest thing in the world. How the hell are
It's spherical. No,
look at
that's-
that.
Dude, yeah, like
That's so sick, though, man.
Wait, hold on. What's boom ball? Can you go to like to the left? Is that what they used? The boom ball?
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's straight up the boom ball.
that's
It's
so
the
funny.
Game Sphere.
Dude, look at the GameCube, but spherical.
Oh my god, amazing.
Ew.
Dude, if it was spherical, it'd be kind of insane. I mean, the problem is it would just roll around
It
everywhere.
looks super weird.
And also, how would it? I mean, I guess the disc would just go in the center.
I wish the PlayStation 5 had a handle. I mean, I do like how it looks. I don't care what anybody says. I like the internet router look. I think it's fucking,
It's interesting,
It's
yeah.
awesome and weird. And
I just don't think it'll fit in any room that it's in, though.
Dude,
Like,
I'll
it'll-
make
it'll-
it fit.
No, but you know, but it looks like it belongs on like
Yeah,
the
aesthetically.
Nostromo or something.
dude, I'm just gonna put a bunch of stickers on it.
yeah.
Oh, that's the move.
If it doesn't,
Yeah.
if it doesn't fit my aesthetic, I'm just gonna put a bunch of stickers on
That
it.
is
Maybe put like a
definitely
cozy over it or something.
that
but
kinda-
like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
hopefully they come out with the black version, just because then it would fit in with my other consoles.
Yeah,
But
I wish there was a black
I think
version.
I applaud PlayStation. I applaud Sony for not making a big box.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a shape. Like that's an
Yeah.
art piece.
It's
Yeah.
new. It's something
interesting.
else.
Also,
something.
Also, if you look in,
piece.
also, you know, if you go in really
Small to
close,
not.
if you go in really close, there's little PlayStation button shapes on everything as like a
no
a
way.
texture. Yeah, it's really hard to see in this image, but if there's an image of zooming in on the controller grips and the grips, like on the PlayStation 4, the grips are just little dots. But on the
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 controller, they're going to be like little squares and triangles and X's and stuff. It's unreal. It's really hard to see, but they're there. Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
They're there. It's really hard to see. Also, what's kind of
That's
funny
sick.
is the charging cable is a USB-C, so cannot use any of my PlayStation 4 stuff, but can use my Switch stuff. So,
Yeah.
hey.
It'll charge faster at least.
And dude, I'm.
Oh,
you
is
know,
it on these too? Oh, maybe not.
Dude, yeah, it is. It
Oh my
looks
God,
like
it is.
Yeah. You know, I'm loving the little elevated mini. You know, the pad looks
It's
like
beautiful with
it
the
looks like-
blue.
yeah, it's fucking nice. It's a sleek.
It's really nice. Looking at it from this angle, you really get You know.
You really get a sense of the scope.
You really
You're gonna get a sense of the scope.
You really feel like
I
Spider-Man.
like the clear buttons.
You really, it makes you feel like Spider-Man.
Makes you feel
It has
like
a
you're
little something for
Spider-Man.
everyone.
Dude, fuck IGN.
I have such beef with IGN. I can't believe they're still seen as a reputable game source with all the plagiarism, with all the clear evidence that they don't play their games.
IGN is a game review website.
They stand for International Gaming News, but they...
Is it news or network?
It should more stand for like ignorant gaming.
Ignorant gaming.
Ignorant gaming
Yeah, dude,
noise.
Admits to plagiarism. Issues apology.
Straight up.
I'm sorry.
Oops. I didn't mean to plagiarize.
Oopsies. My apology.
Dude, it's probably like he just hates his job. He's like, I'm just gonna copy and paste this
100%,
shit.
yeah.
Fuck.
Dude, what's crazy too is he didn't even like he did like a worse thing than copy and pasting. He plagiarized another review. Or was this the Dead Cells guy who plagiarized Dead Cells? There's been a couple of plagiarism problems in IGN, but the big high profile one was, if you look up Dead Cells IGN plagiarism, first of all, Dead Cells, amazing game. It's really fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's
I've seen it.
it's a roguelike, which for those who don't know, roguelike stands for when a game procedurally generates and randomizes the layout of a level every single time you play it. So you'll run through the level and there'll be like stairs and pathways and stuff. You'll die, you respawn to do the level again, and the layout is completely different. That's a roguelike.
Like Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, like Binding of Isaac. But this one was a platformer instead of top-down. And this one, and it was super hard. But what was cool about it is you could pick up whatever weapon you wanted. You could parry and dodge and do a lot of really in-depth combat controls, and it was just blindingly hard. And
dude, I feel like a lot of like indie Switch games are so hard. Like,
dude, they have to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of indie games kind of have to be hard just to justify their price, because I think indie games like paintings and like traditional art, I think that people kind of don't take them as seriously, and they feel like they have to pay for them. Kind of like when people are like, when people ask for like, hey, I want you to design a character for me. And then it's like, all right, well, it's going to be this much. And then they'll go, don't you think that's a little much? And then it's like, it's like, I mean, that's so expensive. Aren't I paying for one character? It's like, well, to everyone out there who think that they're getting upcharged on art, you're paying an artist, like that artist has invested time and money into their education. You're paying for that. You're paying for this peace of mind that you're going to get something good. Because if you didn't care about that, if you just wanted a product like for super cheap, then then you could do it yourself. It's like,
yeah.
But
yeah, I think like just artists in general are just like underpaid and also just like underappreciated.
Yeah,
and also the gaming industry as a whole. You know, like obviously like visual arts are underappreciated, but also gaming in general is underappreciated.
It really is.
Because we were talking about this, about like specifically The Last of Us, and how this is not a spoiler because it's all over the fucking internet.
Yeah.
But that about the character of Abby and how she's transgender. And like, I think what Last of Us as a gaming franchise is trying to do, you explain this better, right?
Last of Us was basically, they're trying to tell a continuation of the story, and this is like, granted, we both have not finished the game.
Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers at all. But when you play the game and you really think about the story, after having played the first one, this is the way to make the sequel.
Yeah.
This is the way you would continue this story.
It
makes so much sense. And the problem is because, like, and I think people were expecting something different. And like, I'm trying not to be spoilery as possible.
No, you said that because it's like the first game and this game are structured like movies.
Yeah.
And they're expecting the gaming audience to see them as a narrative film.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're playing it and you're shooting people and it's like a video game, but in terms of like the story, the way it's laid out, there's themes, there's characters, there's moments, and so it's kind of expecting a lot of a gaming audience to really get invested in characters and invest in new characters and tell new stories in a gaming world,
especially new characters who aren't just a gruffy white guy with like the strength of a god who can just like beat the tar out of anyone and take no for an answer and then sit down with your guitar and tell your story. It's but like people are, and suddenly we don't get a game focused around that, but we still get really interesting characters, and then people are shitting on it and then they make memes out of it. And the problem with that is like, I don't think all of these memes would have shown up if the character of Abby was just like, just your typical big booby girl female character, I feel like they wouldn't have made memes about her. And it's a bummer because like Naughty Dog, I feel like the writers and just the studio as a whole have been like, with this game, it's almost like they were like, we're going to show you guys that gamers aren't just a bunch of immature assholes. They can take a game seriously and they can really get invested in the story. And it just like, and the audience kind of just proved them all wrong.
It literally backfired on them.
It completely
Because Naughty Dog
backfired.
expects too much. Because, dude, Naughty Dog at the end of the day,
They're a cool company.
Their bread and butter, though, of what people want from Naughty Dog, what like, I guess like the shitty gamers want of Naughty Dog is the white guy shooting everybody, which is Uncharted, and Last of Us 1 was that. To an extent, Last of Us 1 shifted the narrative when you got to play as Ellie, and that really changed a lot. And people got pissed about that, though.
I bet.
Like, people fucking had a problem with that.
But it was so sick.
They were like, it's not believable. How could this little girl fucking do... First of all, you know, children are capable of a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
You're also playing a zombie video game. It's like, you know,
like
suspend disbelief.
Yeah, like people have a problem with that, but they have like no problem with kids in movies like getting thrown around by Transformers and not dying, and they're like, it's a movie, you know, suspension of disbelief. But suddenly when they have to control it and they have to empathize with it, then they're like, I have a problem.
But I also don't think it's a suspension of disbelief because Ellie's like a 14-year-old girl, and it's not like she's wrecking shop.
No,
like
true.
she has to think her way through and actually be like way smarter than Joel, because she doesn't have like, she has the strength of a teenager fighting all these like grown ass like creepy men.
You have to change how you play the game. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking run in there and punch everyone to death. You got to sneak around. You got to do the stabby, you know?
Yeah, you got to do that stabby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
And
then this game does that also. Like, you know, I mean, I know. Did you play you played through the whole snow bit in the beginning of the game?
I'm on. Cut us out as this. Well, I don't think it is. I'm on Seattle Day 2.
Okay,
I just got to Seattle Day 2.
So you played as Abby basically.
Yeah.
And like, so you could tell though, like her play style is similar to Joel.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why I think it's interesting.
It's sick.
It's the same. People are shitting on Abby and saying like, why can't I just play as Ellie? Look, I understand if you wanted to really play as Ellie and then just throwing a new character in, regardless of who the character is.
Yeah.
I was a little bummed out that I was like, oh man, okay, I kind of wanted to play as Ellie right now, right? And you know, but it's art at the end of the day. Like you have to take you look at what they've created and you have to take it and you'd be like, all right, like I'm gonna accept your art and I'm gonna don't fucking shit on it.
I know. I saw people were like, you know, I just played The Last of Us 2. I love the gameplay. You know, the combat's awesome and the world looks amazing, but I hated the story. I want a refund. It's like, what?
That's no.
It's like, dude, come on, man. It's like, grow up.
Yeah.
It's like, grow up.
How could you also not get emotional from that? Like, even from what I've played, it's such a real story. I've felt things
real
that...
story. The dialogue sounds real.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
It feels good to listen to these people talk about things, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just... And like everybody's got their own struggle, you know, which is kind of like what the game's going for. Everybody's a bad guy to somebody else.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
It's just, but like people don't like that. People are like, no, I want a clear bad guy and a clear good guy, and that's why we got those 3 Star Wars movies.
Yeah, man. Because people also don't realize the first game is all about morals and fucking like what is right and wrong, you know?
Yeah, like at the end of The Last of Us 1 playing it, I remember I'm like, you know, after going through everything, I'm like, are we the good guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you realize that
Joel's kind
because
of a
I think
shitty
that
dude. He's kind of a psycho.
yeah, it's like you realize that you're playing as a selfish character at the end because you think that you're this dad who like, you know, who's kind of opening up and becoming a father again, and you're like, oh man, like, you know, like, okay, like he's growing as a character, and then you realize, wait a minute, no, he's actually a shitty person that just like ruined humanity's last hope for survival.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean, like
fuck, man.
it's definitely like
Last hope for survival.
You know, like come on.
And he fucked it all up.
And he
because
fucked
he
it up.
wanted a daughter. It's
I
like
want a daughter.
It's like selfish.
But then it's like, but she shouldn't have died, dude. I don't want Ellie to die.
Yeah,
but it's like she would have saved the world.
It's complicated because also you don't even know if that operation would have worked.
You don't know shit.
That's the thing.
You know,
Yeah.
like you don't know.
It's like, that's like the fucked up.
That's
part.
But you have to try in that situation. You
Yeah.
have to, and also not even giving. I mean, it's also fucked up of the Fireflies. Now we're getting to Last of Us more.
I know, dude.
But it's fucked up of them not to give Ellie the choice. Also,
Yeah.
right? Because they didn't even ask.
They didn't tell her.
They didn't tell her about it
Yeah,
either.
they didn't tell her.
And that's weird
crazy.
too.
They just like did that little scan and they're like, her brain is the key. And then they were like, yo, we got to do this now. And it's like before she even woke up.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't
but
know.
they were going to tell Joel. bad idea.
Yeah,
So
that's
stupid.
so.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
I
really
wouldn't have told
strange.
him shit.
No,
If I were the
definitely.
Fireflies, and I'd be like, all right, we gotta like cut up this little girl to save the world. Should we tell that random runner?
Yeah, that
smuggler
that
Should we
just
tell
like
the random
traveled
smuggler?
this way.
I'd be like, nah.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
That's not telling.
leave him in
That's
the
not telling.
lobby, dude.
That's not telling.
Freaking.
Because, I mean, either way though, like he would have.
Yeah, he grew attached, so he would have been like, hey, where's Illy? Hey,
Yeah.
is she all right? Hey, what's going on?
And then they would have either had to kill him or he would have killed them. Either way.
Yeah, someone would have died.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Joel's crazy.
Yeah.
Because, dude, losing his daughter
It
fucked him
unhinged
up.
him. Yeah.
Like,
Losing his daughter and then going on a killing spree across America.
yeah.
Like,
having to go through so much shit, like
Because what's the time jump in the first game?
4 years, right? Isn't it 4
Yeah.
years? Or is
Yeah.
it?
now, his daughter died. His like biological daughter died. 4 years passed.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 years passed. So it's still kind of like, I think 4 years it's still pretty, like the wound is
Yeah.
not obviously.
No.
It's definitely tender.
Yeah,
And, like-
it's definitely definitely tender.
Quite
And like,
tender.
I think in the case of how she died, I think, it's like you're constantly being reminded by it.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like one of those things where like, I feel like, if she died from like something not related to the zombie apocalypse, I feel like he'd have an easier time like not thinking about it. But because it was literally right at the like peak of the outbreak and like society was starting to crumble. By the way, like all those people were being like criticizing zombie movies, like, oh, society wouldn't crumble from a pandemic like this. Society is crumbling now from not even as crazy of a pandemic as
I
the
know.
cordyceps fungus. So
Cordyceps.
And it's interesting
fungus,
that Last
dude.
of Us 2 comes out like now.
Yeah, man.
Weird.
Super weird.
It's like scary.
so bad. Like, oh, terrible. But yeah, I think it's like, it's definitely still tender. Because I remember he was originally not going to do it, I think.
Yeah, he originally
he
was
didn't
like,
want to.
Tess, this is not us.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Fucking Tess.
Yeah, bro, that shit was crazy.
Right. That was
Dude,
great.
when she like shows him that she was bit, so
God,
he's
fucked me
like,
up.
and it was like, show it to me. And you remember that scene? And it's like, this is fucking real, Joel. Remember, like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
dude, that
Oh my
scene,
God.
dude. I had to like,
a lot.
dude, I had to like, in like school, like in high school, like I had to like direct these actors to do that scene. Because I got to
That's
pick a
so
scene.
funny.
It was really funny, and they like, I don't know, they didn't really do it right, and I got kind of like upset and
No.
like, yeah, and then like I had no time to like talk to them about it because it was kind of like a class where like the teacher was like, oh, we only have the actors for the day, so like it was like like Loxa where it was only
Yeah.
like 4 hours of art or whatever, so you only had like a small amount of time. It wasn't great, but I used that scene. That's why I know that
That's
scene
dope.
so well.
That's hype.
Because that scene is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was, I wasn't in the cinematic arts department. I was in the visual arts department, but I still took 2 screenwriting classes and acting for film twice. Just because it was fun. But,
Also, it's Artigo. So
yeah, Artigo was hype.
Artigo's the
and
best.
he didn't let me do the Mr. Literal as a skit though, and I typed it out as a script too.
Dude, Mr. Literal is one of the greatest animated like videos ever, I think.
was,
it's that video where it's like, it's like, what was
it was one of Ego Raptor's old animations, and it was basically 2 guys in an office, the boss and one of the employees, and he's just like, dude, I've had it up to here with you, and he's like, relative to what? And he's like, what? He's like, relative to what? Like the floor, the ceiling, the distance from here to the sun? It's like, no, dude, it's just, I just think we got off on the wrong foot. And he's like, but which foot is the right foot? And it just
it gets crazy.
he's Mr. Literal.
Yeah.
And he just keeps devolving.
It's like, all right, this is getting out of hand. Which hand is? It's
It's like,
like,
which hand?
My hand?
It's
Your
like,
hand?
dude, it's like, simmer down. Are you implying that I'm above 98.5?
It's crazy.
It's so silly.
That's
It's
fantastic.
great. It's so.
it's
Dude,
a-
I've watched that video so many times though.
I gotta watch that.
And then I typed it out as a script because he was like, you need to use something from like a show or a movie. And I'm like, so I like typed it out, and he's like, this is pretty funny. Where's this from? And I'm like, it's from a show. And he's like, which show? And I'm like, on YouTube. And he's like, oh, well, which one? And I'm like,
Fuck.
all right, here. And I pulled it up, and he's like, this isn't a TV show, Revel. And I'm like, no,
Oh man,
but
he
it's-
should have let you done it.
But you can't do
because it was part of the
animations? That
Awesome
sucks.
series, though, right? It was part of that lineup, or no?
Yeah, but I think he wanted something a little more recognizable.
Fuck.
And I understand,
But that script is so good,
It's
though.
just
Like
such a
that,
goofy-
that shit is so funny.
I think the thing is, because at the end, I think the big issue is like, he's like, well, at the end, he tears his arm off. How are you supposed to do that? And then I'm like, well, I mean, I think maybe I could just like, I could just like pretend to break his arm maybe, or he could pretend to break my arm, whichever character I am, and it's like, I think it would work. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, what was your second choice? And I think my second choice was, I can't remember. I can't even remember what my second choice was, but he was like, do that one. And I'm like, okay.
Damn, man.
It was more just like trying to like do acting, and not like just back and forth. But I feel like that's like acting. It was
Dude, anything is like you're playing pretend, dude. Like that's literally what acting is. So like it's.
You're playing
I don't
pretend.
know. I miss Artigo. I hope he's fine.
Yeah, dude. Apparently, like I don't even know. Like I think he's in like Tokyo. Like he's doing some shit for Universal Studios. I could be totally wrong. I don't even know where he is, but that's what like I remember someone saying. But again, like I don't even know. I don't even know where Artigo is.
He's in like a temple somewhere searching for
treasure.
treasure.
Let's get him on. Let's get him on call, bro. Let's bring him over to Renfield.
That'd be
awesome.
insane. Do you guys want to explain to the audience who Artigo is?
Artigo is
sorry.
like the at Loxa. He was the film chair. He was like the film department, the head of the film department. And then he got fired, which was terrible.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
He was fired for completely baseless reasons.
Yeah, he literally like it was just stupid because like there were other teachers that didn't have like the full teaching credentials that were required to be a chair, but they just fired Artigo for like no fucking reason.
For literally no reason. So
And,
that principal at the time was Mitzi, right? That was her
Yeah.
name? So that she could bring in her homie, Drew.
Yeah.
And Drew he single-handedly led
Ruined
that
the
department
department.
into hell. And
Yeah.
it just ruined it, which is funny too, because that idiot didn't even have like a reel to begin with. His only reel was hotel lobby footage,
Yeah, dude.
like 4 hotels.
God.
Like that was
for like the W,
Like
like it would be
their
like when
promo
you
videos?
not like when you would go into a hotel, it's like stay at our spa, like those videos.
Like on the screen.
in the hotel,
Yeah.
you already paid price of
That's
admission
sick.
to enter the hotel,
Yeah.
but it's advertising the amenities in the hotel.
Yeah.
that one channel in every hotel on the TV that like no one watches.
Yeah, the
Except maybe the old people who are like, oh,
Or anyone on
they have
meth.
a game room.
Yeah.
Look, Harold, there's a pool. It's like, of course,
imagine-
there's a pool, Miriam.
It's a hotel.
It's a hotel.
Gretchen.
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 I don't think I've ever met a Gretchen in my life.
I haven't. And I hope to never. Just kidding. Love you, Gretchen.
You're talking to the
Here come the letters.
Void, bro.
to the
I know,
Gretchen
right?
that's there.
You're gonna get like
I'm
Gretchen.
gonna get canceled for hating Gretchens.
Yeah. Hashtag cancel Ian. Hashtag
Ian is over
Hashtag
party.
cancel Ian Herz.
One day.
It's just your face like worried, just like
Oh, what did I do?
what's going on?
I didn't mean to.
You know what he did?
Then my apology video comes out.
Some white binary
didn't
femme with
know.
purple hair is gonna just write you a bunch of death threats.
Just ruin my life. Hell yeah.
She makes like DeviantArt dude.
Dude, DeviantArt's still around and Tumblr isn't. I think that's very interesting.
Well, it's because Tumblr got rid of porn, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Dumbasses.
I know, dumb. Because they're still like, and the fact that DeviantArt's still alive though is wild.
That is
That's
crazy.
weird.
Yeah.
I remember me and Jason got a DeviantArt when we were in high school, just because we were like, should we get a This was before we had like websites, for
Yeah.
adults. But like, we were like, let's get a DeviantArt, let's try. And we like never stuck to it. We ended up moving to Tumblr because Tumblr at the time was really cool. Mm-hmm. But like, then Tumblr just like descended into madness. Honestly, I mean, you know the whole reason they canceled the porn to begin with.
Why?
So the problem was it wasn't the porn. It was so Tumblr became a place where people started posting, whatever they wanted,
Yeah.
And advertisers were getting a little finicky, with some of the porn stuff, but not all advertisers. Tumblr was trying to figure out how to manage it, but then people started posting child porn.
Ooh.
And in response to that, Tumblr just nuked the site of anything not suitable for work. Because like any social media site, YouTube included, and just any social media site, pedophiles started gathering.
Yeah.
Because pedophiles just try and find other pedophiles.
Yeah.
And Tumblr's response to it was a whole nuking of the sites, anything not suitable for work. which I understand the
Yeah.
rash,
Yeah, for sure.
Might as well.
I understand, I would freak the hell out if I was running a social media site and I found out that pedophiles were using it as like a hub. I would be devastated. But I would try and find where that was
Yeah, because how does Twitter get around that? Because Twitter allows nudity.
Yeah, Twitter allows nudity, and it's funny because it may have led to their own destruction, but at least Tumblr tried to deal with it. YouTube has not really been dealing with their pedophile problem.
Yeah.
Because YouTube, obviously, nobody's posting porn on YouTube, but pedophiles will target kids who have channels and who vlog. And they're like, oh, you should do a show your feet challenge or a stand on your head challenge. And it's just really gross. Or that thing with the Spider-Man Elsa garbage that happens.
Dude.
That's a clear
So
sign.
gross.
YouTube doesn't care about what goes on their platform. They're literally just trying to cater to Jimmy Fallon and all
all the fucking late night hosts.
all the late night hosts.
YouTube just fucks with your ads. When the whole the kids doing gymnastics thing on YouTube thing was happening, and all the they just fucking took away ads for everyone, and then they had to specify if your video is made for kids or not, which fucking ruined everyone's.
It ruined everyone's thing.
Source of income.
Literally, all the people who are doing Lucky Penny Shop, I think, whereas those kind of channels where they're directed to kids because they're unboxing toys.
Yeah.
And there isn't even, it's such a G-rated channel. And it's all right, time to open the toy. It's they would use ads, and then now they can't use ads, and it's just that's not fair.
It's fucked up, man.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And it's so funny too, because I can't imagine what the YouTube Rewind is going to be like for 2020. It's probably going to be even cringier than the last one.
Jesus.
Dude, it's gonna be all the celebrities that made their channel and then just instantly became big.
It's going to be pioneered by YouTuber Will Smith.
Dude, yeah,
be on Zoom.
He's the new overlord of YouTube. that was just
I want Will Smith
full
to be.
Seth.
That was full Seth Rogen. Come on, guys.
Stop.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Seth.
dude, YouTube is weird, man.
It's
We
weird.
say that while we're on YouTube.
Dude, I love YouTube.
Whatever.
No. I'm.
But it is weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It just has bad leadership, I feel like.
It has awful
Yeah.
leadership because it doesn't care about YouTube. YouTube couldn't give two shits about the people that make the site go, and it's really frustrating. They destroyed the algorithm. That was originally making people money. They created a new algorithm, which is a disgusting amalgam of all of these restrictions and policies. And then they just untethered it and let it run loose in the YouTube verse to just do whatever they want. And there's so many people there's a lot of YouTubers that I've watched where oh my God, Nuts Gaming. This dude who makes a lot of goofy ass Let's Plays.
I love that guy.
He's so silly.
Yeah.
I remember one of his videos got completely demonetized, and he suffered a lot of repercussions for it because he used a 2-second clip of Smooth Criminal.
Oh God!
And it was when the crystal lizard in Dark Souls was running away, and he's like,
yeah.
and he's dum, 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 dum,
Yeah.
dum, 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 and that got him banned.
Jesus
that got
Christ.
his stuff demonetized.
Everything or just the one video?
And just that video, I think, but that video was an hour long.
But then it probably brought all the YouTube fucking people who demonetize shit to his channel. They were probably oh, this guy's using shit he can't use.
So now his new videos, when he does it, you can hear him going no, 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 no,
That's so funny, though.
no, and it's that's annoying. You shouldn't have to do that, And it's frustrating too because
Well, what's the do you think that YouTube, it's bad if people use other people's songs? Because then there's a flip side to that, right? Because then it's I'm not saying Michael Jackson Foundation needs more money, but I'm just saying that
they're paying people off.
Yeah, but just in for other artists, they're saying their music's on some big channel and then that channel's making all the money, they're not getting paid. That's inherently weird, right?
I do understand that, but
For Let's Plays, though,
But for Let's Plays, like, these people are clearly not in a music career. They're not trying to, like, he's not even using, like, the full song. He's using, like, a 1-2 second bite of a song.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And I
feel
bet
like-
if it was a smaller artist, they probably wouldn't even get him for it. It's just because it's Michael Jackson.
No, they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It's because it's Michael Jackson. Or, like, Nakey Jakey got that long Red Dead video. It was another YouTuber who makes really funny videos.
Dude, everyone go on Nakey Jakey's channel. Not, like, after you watch this video. Yeah. So
Don't leave right
funny.
now. Don't
leave right now. Stay.
You have no idea.
Dude,
what's gonna
people
happen
definitely hopped off when we started talking about Dark Souls for like 4 hours.
Dude, and then Last of Us for so
like,
long.
yeah, Last of Us.
Yeah, you know.
It's all good though.
The real fans were still here.
Yeah, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Real fans are still here. I know.
You know who you are.
I mean, I have no idea how long time has been going. It looks like the sun outside hasn't moved.
What? We're an hour and a half in though.
My clock hasn't changed either.
What the fuck?
But what was I saying? But yeah, like he did a really long, like an hour-long video just reviewing Red Dead Redemption 2, this cowboy game made by the people who made Grand Theft Auto.
Cowboys, America.
And he used a really quick clip of a song that was also like a couple seconds, demonetized the whole video, even though it got millions of views.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and just no money.
They don't give a fuck. Dude.
No, they don't care, man.
And they'll review it, but like 2 days after you post it, you're not making money off a YouTube video.
And like they have their
stupid.
they have their stupid hypocritical anti-bullying policy on YouTube now, and so they destroyed iDubbbz's video where he was shitting on Leafly, or I mean not Leafly, Leafy. But then like you've got all the untouched videos of Jimmy Fallon talking about how fat Donald Trump is. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Everyone hates Trump. But YouTube, you can't just let people bully. But like, they don't know who Leafy is. Leafy is also a piece of shit. So it's like, so the fact that, no chin, have an ass. The fact that like, sorry if any Leafy stands attack you guys. Yeah. But the fact that their policies are clearly just there to rep like, nighttime television. And like all the nighttime talk show hosts, they have just basically taken the trending tab.
Yeah, man.
And it's just,
dude, half of the stuff I see is like,
and it's not even Conan, it's fucking Fallon.
I know. It's like, dude,
Fallon
it's Jimmy
sucks.
Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and then like
I'm fine with John Oliver though. I love John Oliver.
John Oliver's great because
John
he posts
Oliver.
his stuff on YouTube anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he constantly shits on HBO and like.
Dude,
and AT&T, his parent company. So funny. So funny.
But like also it's just that and like a lot of like Marvel clips. I don't know why.
Really?
Maybe because I'm like don't really watch a lot of Marvel clips anymore. Like I guess I guess my YouTube is just stuck on that. Like I can't get it. I can't get away from it.
I've looked at the trending tab and on my YouTube, my trending tab is Tekashi 69's video.
Yeah.
Still there.
That shit blew
fucking
up.
Gumbo or Glibble or Gooby or whatever the fuck it's called. Gooby. I hate that guy. He's a pedophile
sucks.
too. It's fine that he's getting doxxed. But it's either that, any one of the Jimmys, Jimmy Fallon or Kimmel,
Jimmys.
Yeah, they're the Jimmys,
fuckers.
Jimmy Kimmel's not as Jimmy Kimmel's like not that funny. He's like got his moments. I don't think he's that great.
Jimmy Kimmel,
but at least he's a capable talk show host.
But he also did blackface though.
He did.
Yeah.
He did do blackface, so did Fallon. So funny. But
dude, like what is the deal with these people doing blackface?
Dude, because didn't he do it on SNL?
Yeah,
they all did that.
SNL
SNL was the place where you could just do shitty I mean, it still is the place where you could do shitty comedy, but like,
dude, SNL's so bad.
Yeah,
they're bad.
Like
they're
just so bad now.
Yeah, they're still kind of bad. They're just not. They're just trying not to be politically incorrect anymore. That's another thing, It's like what do you? It's like he did do blackface, but and they're always like, it's like I love that. It's like they really didn't think at the time that this would come back to haunt them.
Yeah.
That's why I have no sympathy. Like I was talking earlier, about we need to be more, people change, yada yada. But when it comes to shit like blackface, like they did blackface because they didn't think that it was ever going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And that's just telling. It's like, come on, like he was an adult. like an adult ass adult. It's
and
different.
he sat in the makeup and like was like, this is gonna be funny. Like that. What? Like,
But then again, people also like, it's crazy that people told him that's gonna be funny. Like, it's like the whole thing.
Everybody thought
dude.
it was,
Everyone,
everybody
the
told
crew,
him.
the
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
everyone
killing
wrote-
it, Jimmy.
whoever wrote the
Here
thing.
we go, and dude. Now, like every time we like
know.
say anything, it's like it's
always Italian.
It's Italian. What are you
So
doing?
sick.
What's
Come
going
on.
on?
What are you doing,
Get
Jimmy?
outta
Come on.
Jimmy, get out of that blackface. What are you doing?
Come on. But then,
It's like-
but then no one bats an eye about Robert Downey Jr. I mean,
Yeah.
No, because that's such a. That's like. Oh, that's like a. We could talk for a while. on that one.
yeah, that's
He's Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr.
It's Iron Man, dude.
Robert Downey Jr.
That's
Iron
correct.
Man,
Iron.
Robert Downey Jr. Like Robert Downey Jr. started off as like, you know, the son of a famous actor, son of a celebrity, you know, relatable. Got into really hard times, went to jail, came back out, became Iron Man. Did blackface. Did he do blackface before or after he did Iron Man?
dude. Iron Man
Same
1.
year.
Iron Man 1 and Tropic Thunder came out in the same year. Dude,
Same
2008. I was talking to you about this, dude. Dark Knight came out 2008. Like 2008
Big year.
Dude,
Yeah.
look up
Wow.
2008
We
movie
got
list.
Batman, Iron Man,
Hell
and
yeah.
Black Robert Downey Jr.
What the fuck?
Crazy. But then, like, they nominated him for
Dude.
an Oscar for that. Which
Cloverfield came out then,
Yo.
dude.
Step
2000
Brothers.
Wow.
Dude, 2008 was like the year for movies.
Dude, it's amazing. Why
there-
isn't this loading?
Please help me.
Yo, Twilight, get out of
Yeah,
here,
Yeah,
man.
that's kind of crazy.
What?
The Twilight years.
Twilight? What a time.
Why is it just not?
Curious
What
Case.
is-
I've never seen Curious Case.
What is that
I've
one?
seen it. It's really
I've-
long.
I've stripped my pajamas.
The Boy in the
no,
Striped.
Boy in the Striped pajamas. Oh,
Dude,
that's
what
That's the Nazi one, right?
that's the Nazi one.
Dude,
I'm just gonna reload the page. Maybe maybe Google will help me out.
never really a fan of Step Brothers, dude.
Really?
Because I just don't like Will Ferrell. Never
You
been a
know,
Will Ferrell guy.
I don't love him either, but I
know
love
what you
that
mean.
movie.
Everybody in my I kind of like
The fuck?
I kind of like had to like Step Brothers because, you know, I mean, Will Ferrell was
Just look
really
at your
big in my school. I went to Merman.
Merman.
Yeah.
The Merman School.
Predominantly white Jewish, you know, student base with a peppering of people of color. So like
just a slight seasoning. of-
yeah, you know, a peppering. And,
Dude, that's literally what a lot of those like high end schools are. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of white people, and then just like, okay, we need like at least a couple of, you know what I mean? It's like we need a little bit of POC.
Taken came
Dude, I
out.
was a problem child there too, because not only was I a person of color, but I was an artist, and they did not know how to deal with me. Like I just would not.
Because everyone
pay
there
attention.
is kind of like your trajectory. You're gonna be a lawyer, or a doctor.
Yeah, I mean, dude, most of the people who left that school to the high school, they just went to Harvard Westlake.
Oh, dude.
That school.
Fuck Harvard Westlake,
I know,
dude.
right?
Harvard Westlake kids,
Trash.
Brentwood kids, the worst. And I went to Campbell Hall,
Trash.
so like I, didn't
You
have
know
a
what you're
great.
talking
Yeah, exactly. Brentwood kids, dude, and Harvard Westlake kids were the worst motherfuckers. I have to pee really bad, also. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's interesting that Robert Downey Jr. got away with blackface and then became Iron Man. Amazing.
how do you even do
comeback
that?
kid. I think the reason he got away with it was because, like, you know, the lore of the movie was that everybody knew he was doing blackface. You know?
Well, for sure. That's really what it was. But I also think that
and it was like the weird gag of it, and like the care and that other and like that other
what the fuck are these
bit
movies?
in the movie. Wait, what are these movies?
Bro, I'm talking about like theatrical box office movies.
Yeah, what
I'm
is this?
talking about what is this?
I don't know. Somebody's indie.
Chris Evans and this woman.
What?
Talking? What is happening?
What is Chris Evans talking about right now?
Dude, the second that Ian leaves the fucking computer screen, everything goes to shit.
Damn it. We need Ian.
We need Ian on this because why is Chris Evans in the corner?
I don't know. Where is he, by the way?
Yeah, where did he go? Did he go to the bathroom?
He's in the Snowpiercer train.
Yeah. What?
About to chow down on some baby. Chris Evans.
Dude, who's pumped for the Snowpiercer show? Like, what?
I don't know. I mean, the movie
It has
was
the eyebrow girl you like though. From
from Hulk.
Yeah.
What was her name?
I don't know. Is that fucked up of me to just say?
Ian, who was remember the eyebrow girl from Hulk?
She's in Snowpiercer.
She
We're talking
played
about the new
Betty
Snowpiercer.
Ross. She's in the Snowpiercer show now. She's got eyebrows.
Like she has like really nice eyebrows.
She's like really pretty. She was like one of my earlier celebrity crushes.
I don't know. Maybe
Dude,
if the Wi-Fi works.
She rocked it in the Hulk. Dude, that fucking movie, bro.
The 2008 one?
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great. But
That movie came out 2008?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
What?
Are you
think it did.
serious?
No, it didn't. Hulk?
It's got to be 2003. Or
Yeah,
like 4.
her. Yeah. She was also...
Bruh.
Oh my god, she was also in Alita Battle Angel cinematic masterpiece.
Is that the wrong one?
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Jennifer Connelly?
Yeah.
Who is she?
That's
Yes.
the wrong one. I'm talking about Ang
Wait.
Lee's Hulk.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah,
Yes.
look up Hulk.
gorgeous.
Yeah, go down to it's
Yeah,
just
she
like
was in Alita Battle Angel.
face
Nobody
is so
reacted when I said
symmetrical.
that.
I didn't see it, dude. I'm sorry.
What?
Wait, scroll down a little bit. Scroll down
Was
a
it
little
good?
bit.
Ian.
I'm sorry, man. I
Ian,
didn't
you
see
need to
Alita.
see Alita Battle Angel.
I know.
It's fucking shit, Revel.
No, it's not.
It is.
Shut up!
It's
no,
terrible.
it's not.
But
It's not
dude.
shitty. It's a cool movie. You guys are just...
It has cool fight scenes, but it's like a terrible movie.
No, it's not. You guys are not getting it.
It's not good.
You don't get the duality of Gruishka as a character.
Gruishka?
Yeah. Listen.
Gruishka.
Shut the fuck up about Grishka.
No, it's like he has a whole arc. Alita Battle Angel. Look at this movie. Look at this
What the
amazing
fuck?
piece of human
Dude.
engineering.
Don't let me zoom in.
Also, the worst part about the movie is the end twist is that Edward Norton is the villain. Like, what the fuck is wrong
Like
with
just
that?
him in real life. No, I'm sorry.
No, but think about the acting chops that everyone had to do to talk like a smug ass Edward Norton. Everybody had to talk like him because his character would possess people. So then they would be like, "Well, happy to meet you, Alita." It's like, that's Edward Norton, piece of shit. Like, of course that's how he talks.
Oh, is that Mahershala? Bro?
Yeah, man.
she's
Shut
in
the
this.
fuck up, bro.
There's Christoph Waltz. He's a hunter warrior. You need to watch this movie. We need
Fuck this movie.
But who the fuck is this guy, bro?
Who? Dude, that's Zapan, also known as Ajax from Deadpool. He plays the same character. He plays just like that the buff British guy that talks like this.
Hell
It's
yeah,
like Jason
bro.
Statham, but like taller.
He's like Jason Statham but a model.
Yeah.
You know, he's bald, he's buff, and he's from the UK. I think
Yeah,
Jason
bro.
Statham's from Australia.
What's going on here? That dude, the guy on the motorcycle, is the worst actor
He-
by
Motherfucker.
far.
Dude, he's like
So
really
what even
bad.
is he on? Is he on like a
He's on like a-
arcade? Like, he's on okay, it was like an arcade.
Dude,
Like
okay, I will say,
dumbass big wheel.
He's a
Fuck is going on
he's
over
like a really dumb character. He like takes Alita to this like abandoned church. Like, this is my place where I think about my dreams. And it's like,
Hell
Dude, yeah, he's like, I come here to think sometimes. And if the sunset's going down,
this is
it's
my
like,
special
Oh my
place.
God.
It's like, oh,
Fuck off,
Stop.
man.
it's like that's bad.
it's just, but it works though because Alita is a robot.
Yeah.
And he acted so robotically
Yeah.
that
Oh.
they kind of, you kind of lost that they, she was a CG character.
Did they like fall in love?
They do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
fall in love,
they
and
do.
it's weird.
His name's Hugo. That's his name.
Yeah, it's
like
weird
the
because
clock
she's
guy.
Like the monster. Like the clock guy.
But
Do you remember that shit?
The
Little
actress,
automaton.
Bro.
the actress that plays Alita, though, she's actually kind of awesome.
No, she's amazing.
She's really.
She did all that shit. Like, this movie's great.
Yeah.
She made her eyes big. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop.
But like, they had to
Yeah,
make her eyes big.
she enlarged her eyes somehow using. Would you say chaos magic? Or
Would you say
would
chaos magic?
Would you say that?
I don't know if I
Chaos Emerald?
officially say it.
Yeah, the chaos.
The time gem?
I know.
Stop it with that.
I know the director, Robert Rodriguez. I know he has one of the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
Because that's how he created Sharpborn Lava Girl. He
just,
dropped it in
like-
he dropped it in a cauldron and then he just
yeah.
it just created the DVD.
Well, if you break
Yeah.
it open, the emerald,
That's how you get
yeah.
the essence of Sharpborn
Spy
Lava.
Kids comes right, right on out of there, man.
It's just like Chaos Control, and then just DVD copies of the movie were shooting out of it. And
It's just Frankie Muniz. Fucking
Dude,
So
Frankie
Dude,
Muniz
poor
and Christina
Frankie Muniz.
Applegate in one movie. Let's
Dude,
go.
Frankie-
Where does he go? Where is Frankie Muniz?
dude, Frankie Muniz is trying to just live day to day. He's had a very
Yeah.
bad life.
Yeah.
really.
He is, yeah, dude. He's got fucking Alzheimer's. he has completely forgotten his time on Malcolm in the Middle. And his house flooded, and all of his memories of family stuff, like all of his possessions and family memories are also gone.
What the fuck?
So, according to Frankie Muniz, like, he has no past. It's like really
That's
sad.
so sad, bro.
It is
How do you
devastating.
spell Alzheimer's?
What?
So he has early onset.
Yeah, severe memory loss. He
man.
doesn't remember he's like said it like he doesn't remember Malcolm. Yeah, he had a mini stroke, dude.
Dude,
Fuck.
that's insane.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like, you know, and he's not an old dude, you know. He was
No.
like our age. Maybe,
Wow.
I don't know. Well,
He was 31.
how old was he in Big Fat Liar?
He had to be like... Actually, I have no idea, man.
Also, who was that look-alike Frankie Muniz who was in Max Keeble's Big Move? Remember that?
Max Keeble? I don't
You guys
know.
not remember this movie?
No,
Nobody I
bro.
talked to remembers this movie.
Max-
Look up Max Keeble's Big Move. I watched this movie. Josh Peck is in it. Eddie from Orlando Brown is in it before he went mad. And like,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
Max Keeble's
dude.
Big Move, dude. Look it up. Oh, it's loading. It's loading.
Taking forever.
Yeah, dude, it was like a movie about this kid named Max Keeble. And
yeah.
he was like, you know, just your typical average, you know, Disney Channel protagonist.
Yeah,
and
man.
he was gonna move. So, and it's like, you know, his dad got a job, so they were gonna move. And then he
Oh
did a bunch
my God.
of stupid ass shit in school and pissed off a bunch of bullies. And then his dad's like, big moves. And he's like, we're not moving. And so now Max Keeble's got to deal with all of the consequences of his stupid actions.
Wait, we're not moving?
Yeah, who is that?
Bro, Josh Peck
Yeah,
is in this shit?
yeah, dude. Josh Peck's like one of his friends.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude. And then there's that other girl who's like, I don't know who that is.
Wait,
But, like,
who is this
that?
guy?
Who is that dude?
Yeah.
Like, look at his.
Random
He's got a long sleeve
spiky
shirt
hair.
under a short sleeve
Dude,
shirt.
yeah, classic.
Dude,
He's
he is
sick.
like every Disney Channel protagonist. Look at this dude. Is that even
What
the
the
same?
fuck
is that even
is-
still the same kid?
I don't know if it'll load.
Dude, it's like Ben 10 energy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, dude.
It's like that early.
It's hero time.
Dude,
I'm gonna save the
yes,
goddamn
dude.
world.
Look how much bigger he is than the rest of them, bro. Tall wise, I'm not making a comment about his weight.
Yeah, you are.
I swear.
Dude, the come up of Josh Peck's transformation throughout Drake and Josh was a fascinating thing
It's
to watch
insane.
as a kid.
Yeah, right. It was the first time like I remember seeing like a character on a TV show physically change.
Yeah.
Like weight wise.
I had also never seen that before in my life. So it was really interesting. Because I remember there were breaks in the season. Because, you know, like in between seasons, you know, there's like a period of just the show doesn't come. And I remember after one of the season breaks, you know, Drake comes in and like Josh came in and it was like, you know, when like Sebi went from Big Sebi to like Fit Sebi, I was like, oh, hey, what's going on, dude? You been working out?
Yeah, it's like what?
You know?
Like, all right.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah, it was like, wow.
Fit Sebi.
Yeah, look at him. Look at this
Yeah,
guy.
Dude, I know.
He still looks like Josh though, like from Drake and Josh. I mean,
crazy.
obviously, like it's like
He looks like the kind of guys like my friend, a friend of mine looks for on like Hinge. It's like, ooh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
He looks like you know, you're gonna swipe right on this dude.
Stop.
You don't swipe right on Hinge. I don't really know how Hinge works. Apparently, that's like the new dating site.
Hinge?
Yeah, you know, like it's an app. Instead of
Yeah.
it just being like back and forth, you know, swipe left or swipe right, it's basically you make your profile, and unlike Tinder where it just shows you the image, and if you want to see their profile, you can like, you know, click, or if you're like a filthy goblin, you could just keep swiping. But Hinge, it shows you their profile up front, and you scroll down it. And if there's something about their profile that you like that specific thing. So it gives you something to
that's
start a
cool.
conversation with, which I think is interesting.
there's also that other one where it's like you like it's like a blurry face, and then you have to talk to them. I forgot what the name of it was
What?
called, but it's a blurry face, and you have to talk to them. And then, like, as you start having a conversation, the face starts to slowly blur
See,
out.
stupid.
That
And sorry,
sucks.
it starts to be clearer and clearer.
That's
Stupid.
a bummer because
It's Jabba the Hutt.
that's a bummer.
I know, right? And you're just like,
Man, yeah,
Because then halfway through the conversation, then if someone just stops talking to you, then you know it's your face.
Yeah, it's like really, because at least with like Tinder, it's like, you know, oh, I don't know why they could not be hitting me up for any reason. They could have liked my photo but didn't like something I wrote down. But like with that, it's like, you know, it's your face. That sucks.
No, but I'm saying we gotta like go on that app as like Shrek or someone like as like fucking like Ponyo. I don't know. Some random shit where it's like, what?
Fucking
That's not a
Ponyo.
human being.
Go on there.
Oh my god.
We go as Josh Peck, dude. What is he? Both shirts are terrible.
You're crazy.
Dude, what is on the shirt on the left?
I know.
Low-key, I love that shirt on
This
the
one's
left.
way cooler than this one.
Yeah, that tiger is just like, all right, man, whatever. You
He's like
probably
Silver
fucking break
Surfer.
windows in abandoned malls, but like that shirt on the left, like,
What is that?
That's a shirt.
like you've got opinions on like grunge.
Was it like Iron Man? Then it's like Silver Surfer, and then he's like
Is that what that is? It
turntables.
looks
I
like a-
think.
it looks
No,
like
it
an
looks
alien.
like dude. Honestly, it looks like this is very like telling of the nerdism, but it looks like the Republic of the star. You know what I'm saying? Like the that gear symbol in like the Clone
R2D2's
Wars.
weird little thing.
Yeah, but that's also like the symbol of the Republic. Like
Oh, I know what you mean.
right.
Yeah.
and then but also it looks just like an alien. It looks like the aliens from War of the Worlds. Remember?
Yeah. Wait, which one?
The ones that walk around with the long hands.
Which War of the Worlds? The Tom Cruise one?
Tom Cruise one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best one.
Dude, yeah, that movie's
That one was
crazy.
awesome, but not as awesome as Alita battling.
Stop. No, get out of here.
No, go back. Dude, it's awesome. Look
Yo,
at that. It's
how-
the Damascus blade.
How long have we been going for?
An hour 50.
That's
Whoa.
dude. Time is not real.
Flying
Time
by.
isn't real.
What time is it right now?
14.
10 to 10.
It's
Oh,
4:43.
It is full. Oh yeah, wait, Revel, you gotta be somewhere.
You gotta
right?
go, dude. You gotta make the drive back to LA.
I
Shit.
know.
Shit.
know.
It's all good, man. We could call it. Do you want to plug anything, or we could put your Instagram at the bottom?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could put my Instagram somewhere, like in this general vicinity,
it'll probably be right there.
right here.
Yeah, right there where you're pointing at.
Hell yeah.
It'll probably there it is.
Oh, tickler, yeah.
Okay.
And,
cool. As far as plugging anything, I mean, I don't know. I mean, revelrosa.com is where I keep my art. I need to post more art, honestly.
Yeah, dude, you could buy his sculptures there too. They're
Yeah,
dope.
shit.
I do have like 2 sculptures for sale.
He posts awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Thanks.
But yeah.
And I'm sure you'll be back. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always down to.
And
come
next
back. The
time you
drive
could
wasn't-
crash at the
Yeah.
studio. Because
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to
Yeah.
drive all the way
The drive
back.
wasn't bad. It was just kind of creepy.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, hopefully, it's not creepy next time.
Yeah.
And also, hopefully, your GPS kind of works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
Strange.
weird. I mean, it's just oddly enough, it wasn't hard getting here. Like, I don't think I could get lost. It was just scary not having a GPS.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wrenfield Radio.
We'll see you next week.
Renfield
Oh shit.
Radio.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that did not feel like 2 hours.
No, it did.